I was standing in my new kitchen, unwrapping our wedding china, when a phone call changed my life forever. "Mrs. Baker?" the voice asked. "I'm Thomas Reed, the man who sold you the house. I accidentally left one security camera connected. I saw something you need to see. Don't tell your husband. Come alone." My hands went numb. 7 days earlier, my husband Jonathan and I had bought our dream home. Almost 70% of the down payment came from the inheritance my late father had left me after spending 30 years as a high school chemistry teacher. I believed I was building the future he always wanted for me. When I arrived at Thomas Reed's house, he showed me footage from the hidden camera. The video shattered everything. Jonathan walked into our living room with his mother, Diane. They weren't talking about decorating or moving in. They were talking about me. "She trusts me," Jonathan laughed. "She never reads the paperwork." His mother smiled. "Good, that trust is useful." Then they discussed refinancing documents designed to secretly give Jonathan legal control over my house. They believed I would sign without reading because I trusted my husband. I sat frozen. The man I loved wasn't protecting me. He was planning to take everything my father had left behind. I drove home pretending nothing had happened. Instead of confronting them, I started watching. Jonathan handled every financial document before I could see it. Diane conveniently collected the mail every afternoon. Their conversations changed whenever I entered the room. A few days later, Jonathan placed a thick folder in front of me. "Just refinance paperwork," he smiled. "Routine." I smiled back. "Of course, I'll read it first." That single sentence made both of them uncomfortable. Every night after Jonathan fell asleep, I photographed every page. Buried deep inside the documents was exactly what I feared. A power of attorney clause. Once signed, Jonathan would slowly gain legal authority over decisions involving my home. Step by step, he could eventually control the property without me realizing what had happened. I needed help. Quietly, I hired an experienced real estate attorney named Michael Grant. I gave him everything. The hidden camera footage, copies of the paperwork, emails, voice recordings I had secretly collected during family dinners. After reviewing everything, he looked at me and said, "They built this to fool someone who trusts too much. But if we move quickly, we can stop it." Within days, he legally protected the property so no ownership transfer could happen without my direct approval and independent legal review. Then he gave me one final piece of advice. "Don't confront them. Let them believe they're winning." So I did. Jonathan relaxed. Diane started bringing furniture catalogs, already decorating a house she believed would soon belong to her family. Finally, they scheduled the signing. Monday night. Jonathan prepared a candlelight dinner. Diane arrived smiling. The paperwork sat on the table beside a waiting pen. Jonathan slid it toward me. "When you're ready." I picked up the pen. Then the doorbell rang. I opened the door. Standing outside was Michael Grant, and a court officer carrying official legal documents. The smiles disappeared instantly. Inside the dining room, Michael calmly announced that the property had already been legally protected. No transfer, no refinance, no hidden authority. Nothing they planned could happen anymore. Then he placed the evidence on the table. The hidden camera recordings, the emails, the paperwork. Finally, he played my voice recorder. Jonathan's own voice filled the room. Once everything's transferred, she won't even realize how it happened. Silence. No excuses could erase those words. Jonathan looked at me and quietly asked, "How long have you known?" I looked him straight in the eyes. "Long enough." That was the moment everything ended. Jonathan packed his bags that night. Diane left after warning I'd regret choosing a house over family. I answered with the only truth that mattered. My father already gave me a family worth protecting. This house is part of his legacy, and I won't hand it over to people who never protected me. The door closed behind them. For the first time since moving in, the house finally felt like mine. The next morning, I thanked Thomas Reed. He simply said, "Houses remember the truth longer than people do. I'm glad this one still had enough truth left to protect you." Months have passed since then. My tomato garden now grows exactly where I planned it. Every morning, I sit on the porch with my coffee, grateful that I trusted evidence instead of promises. Because sometimes the biggest betrayal doesn't come from strangers. It comes from the people you trusted enough to never read the fine print.